Beaver After Dark is not for all audiences. It will be dealing with adult topics and adult situations. Each host will be giving an opinion and is in no means an expert. Listener discretion is advised. That's right. You can bite all of us. And by all of us, I mean the one, the only Lord Reverend Professor Rusty J. Lugnuts. And then we have the scholar of the Urban Dictionary, someone who will probably make you vomit, Rob-ERT. And of
Hello.
course, she's so pretty, Miss America, Misinformation, Erica. And of course, me,
whatever.
Beaver. I can't talk right now, so just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. So we're going to
my
start.
God.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm
Where did that
and I
come
can't
from?
sing. So deal with it, okay? Just deal with it. Just shut your dirty whore mouth. So here we go. We are going to be discussing an interesting story that I came across. I know that we have had people who have had issues with exes, and I know that we have had revenge, but I think we found the ultimate revenge story. So let me just send this to you, and then we're going to discuss. Okay.
Okay.
Can we all see it? I don't think I
Yeah.
can make it any bigger. So
Did you hear about this girl on TikTok who got cheated on by her boyfriend and then got him deported back to Mexico?
No.
Is that not the craziest revenge plot you've ever heard?
Hold on. I have literally 1,000 questions.
So she's like, hey, babe, we're going to take a trip to Six Flags. Surprise.
Okay.
And he's like, great. She's like, yeah, we're leaving tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So they wake up super early. They live in Texas. So they're doing the road trip to Six Flags. He falls asleep in the car. I'm not sure if she gave him a Benadryl or if he just fell asleep.
And I was very trusting.
I'm sure he was like, I'm going to Six Flags, going to take a little snooze. My girlfriend's driving. While he's sleeping, she drives through border security. And when he wakes up, he gets the biggest plot twist of his life because he's in Mexico and he's not a legal citizen of the US. So he quite literally gets deported back to Mexico.
I'm so sorry. I am flabbergasted. My flabber is gasted right now.
I know. So imagine he wakes up and she's like, surprise, we're in Mexico. We're not at Six Flags. And he's like, okay. And she's like, joke's on you. You're staying here because you cheated on me and you can't actually get back into America.
Oh my, like, I don't even have words right now.
How good.
For a
Okay, they just want how good it is and stuff.
I don't condone hitting women, but somebody needs to beat the shit out of that blonde with a double-headed dildo. I mean, my flabber is gassed.
Okay,
For me, please.
I actually liked when she said that. I thought it was funny. I thought it was original. But I mean, there's
Okay.
cheating.
If it's real,
yes.
right? If it's real, because how do you sleep through border patrol?
Hey, I
That
fell
was my only question because you can sleep. If you just think you're on a road trip, you can sleep. Sleeping through border patrol, I feel like they would wake you up. However, I mean, maybe that's how it happened, right? Like I have no idea. But if she did, it is hands down by far the greatest move I've ever heard of. Like by far, hands down.
Yeah.
She's just having a Trump deport everybody. Let's go.
Short of like stranding me in a foreign country without my passport. I don't know what else could be better. Like eventually I'm going to get back though. Like I'm going to eventually get new paperwork and I'm going to get back. He's not if that happened.
Right.
Here's the thing. I don't think she went to the actual border. I think she went to one of those check stations on I-10.
Yeah, I've never
because
crossed the
if
southern
you
border.
go to the border, they're gonna ask you for ID right there. There's no way that like you cross
Like,
the border with him in the car.
Now, it used to be
Him
before all this where you had to have a passport and stuff to go into Mexico. There was a time where you could just go into Mexico, but you had to have papers to get back in. Now, I'm
oh,
sure
your driver's
that's all
license, right?
changed.
But that was
Yeah.
all you used to need. You could go to Tijuana. You
Yeah.
could go from Laredo or like what was the name of that town right over the border? You could literally walk. You could park your
El
car in the
Paso.
U.S. In El Paso, and you could walk across the border. And all you need is your driver's license to get back. Not anymore. It's
It's
not
the
like that
same thing
anymore.
in Mexicali.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it's like. I mean, I haven't crossed the northern border, but come on, that's epic.
Yes.
If
That
she
is.
really did that, that is the best.
It got me thinking, what is something that you have done to an ex in retribution for them either cheating or doing something in your relationship that might have ended it? So we'll start with Rusty.
Yeah, you want to build up to Erica because Erica's got
No,
some epic,
I'm
It's like,
sure Erica.
I
should
don't
be
want to go
epic.
first because which story I tell will
mine
depend
it's
on yours.
petty. You know what? It's petty, and I'm sorry that I did it now because it was pretty bad. So I wasn't never really married to who I consider my first wife, and I call this one my second wife. But when she finally had enough of my bullshit, she finally went home to her mom, but she left all her shit at my little trailer or whatever. And of course, I was served with the papers, and I didn't contest it. I went and signed it, and then the snooty ass lawyer was like, "Well, you're going to have to pack up all her stuff and take it to her." And I was like, "Oh, really?" So when I got back to the trailer, I broke everything that she had and ruined all her clothes that she left there, put them all in garbage bags, took it back and dumped it on her porch and never said nothing and left. I broke literally every single thing that she had and ruined all her clothes, cut them up.
Wow.
Yeah. And,
Wow.
yeah.
God, Rusty, I had no idea that you had that vindictive power in you.
Nice,
Really?
Rusty.
Erica's totally turned on right now.
I am a little, I got warm for
Yeah.
a second there. That was so endearing.
But I feel bad about it now.
I
Yeah.
I didn't do anything near that, but I wasn't ever living with an ex before either. I actually just knew that the guy that cheated on me with 2 girls, not just one, he was dating someone else, and I saw them out one day, and I told them that he has venereal disease, and I don't know if it went anywhere from there, but I know he married someone that's totally different from the girl that he had been dating, so I'm like, "Whatever, I don't care." I'm just like, he's kind of a male slut, and he's got diseases. So who knows?
Like,
Nothing horrible like destroying
Nothing-
property, but
Nothing horrible. I just destroyed his reputation with a venereal disease.
you don't want jock itch, and I'm talking itch.
And I'm talking. Oh my
You like
God.
crap because you might have some.
Like break out the Brillo pad because you're going raw. Oh my
All
God,
right.
that's
Do we
terrible.
want to go to Erica or do we want to go to Robert? So who wants to go next?
Robert, you
No.
know, it's painful.
Oh, what the hell?
Well, so this is going to be a short version, as short as I can possibly make it. It's my ex-wife. I caught her cheating because, well, something wasn't right. She, people started treating me different around us. And so, me being me, I hacked her Facebook page. And I was reading through the messages about how I'm just the worst person in the world and I'm abusive and all this other crap. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? And she's telling this to anybody that'll listen that we're mutual friends with,
Oh,
and how she's got to get out and away from me. And then I run across this other message with a guy she works with. Oh,
Mm.
except it's like 4 months worth of messages, and she's been banging him behind my back.
Mm.
So I
Oh.
copied and pasted every message they put, including the little sexual wordplay that they wrote back and forth, on her timeline and tagged him in it. So everybody on his page and her page seen it.
Oh, wow.
Then
See,
Yeah.
wow, you should
I
have saved that for last.
then I
No.
took all her shit and I throwed it out in the yard in a pile like a volcano. And on her biggest dildo, I wrote whore on one side and something else I can't say on YouTube. And I stuck it in the top like a fucking candle.
Did you try to light it? Did you set sparklers in it or something?
No, but I should have.
Holy cow. Oh, okay. I can't beat that.
You
I can't
can't beat
beat that.
that?
I can't beat
Well,
that.
you know, it
I
it is
can't
what
beat
it is.
that.
All right, tell
I
us what you did.
two I have two stories one that happened at different times. One was in college. It's always cheating. Did you notice that? All of our stories are about cheating, right? Like,
Mhm.
don't cheat. Cheating will get you hurt. Um, I was coming home from a formal event where my date never came back to the hotel room that night, and I found him the next morning, right? So, obviously, I'm pissed, and now we're on a 3-hour drive in the car back to where we lived, and, the idiot was dumb enough to let me drive, and I dropped his transmission right out of the car going about 60 miles an hour on I-10, and I called a ride, and I left him there with his car in pieces on the side of the highway.
My God. Remind me,
Oh.
I just thought of something else I did to my ex, the same guy, but go ahead.
And then later in life, much later, I will say, um, I dated a guy who was married, and I found out because he bought me a car, but he bought the same car for his wife, and she couldn't figure out why there were 2 charges because he used the wrong bank account. There were 2 cars. So she came to the address where the other car was delivered. And I'm still friends with her to this day, but we got together and found a whole bunch of other women, and all of us kinda harem up and locked him out of the house and had a big old party and destroyed his life.
Oh my gosh. What the hell that he thought it's like a huge purchase like a car wasn't gonna be a red flag for his wife.
Well, not when you buy it out of your joint account. I mean,
Well, if
you
he hadn't
probably
slipped,
should have bought it out of the other account.
she'd have
None
probably
of it
never
we would have
known.
never known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. What kind of car was it?
A Mini Cooper.
Those
You
are
know
cute.
what? He didn't even get us different colors, like, same exact car. So how many were there? I think there were more than 2, if you wanna know my opinion. We
Yeah.
only just
Somebody
knew
thought a truckload
He's
on
tagging all his
consignment.
bitches. He's tagging all his bitches in the same car.
right?
Damn.
Yep.
So, the same guy who cheated on me with 2 women, a couple months after we were we weren't together anymore, I was just feeling angry one night, and, I was driving around and I saw his car. So, I decided to go to the store and get Vaseline and a bottle of Coke. And I took Vaseline and shoved it up under all the door handles on his car. And then I
Ew.
took the bottle of Coke and dumped it all over the top of his car.
Oh god, that's so damaging.
I know,
Oh.
but 2 women, he had to get something. He had to get
Listen,
something.
cheating will get you hurt. I'm telling you. I don't care what situation, it will get you hurt. And I don't feel bad for you at all. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for anyone. I don't feel bad for the dude that gets his dick lopped off for cheating. I do not feel bad if you wake up to your crazy ass carrying holding your gun to your head. I am so sorry, but you should have known.
God
Cheating,
damn, she was so hot in that fucking scene.
but but she was right.
He was right. But
was
okay,
right.
here's the thing. Here's what really pisses me off is, you should always tell a motherfucker you're in a relationship or you're married and let them make that decision.
Mm-hmm.
because you don't know what's going to happen once it's found out.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
Right. Well, she
And
didn't
you
know.
shouldn't
Can
get
you
an
imagine
innocent man
showing up
hurt.
in my house? Can you imagine
I don't
showing
know
up
you how
in
you
my house
handle that. Like
and just
you,
being
some
like,
woman just shows up and you're like, "Why are you dating my husband?"
I mean, she's very sweet. She was obviously distraught at the time, and I was like,
Oh,
I had
shit.
no idea. I have no idea who this is. And she was destroyed. She had a 45-minute drive to think about what was happening. Like, and she
Mhm.
had no idea what she was about to walk up on. At one point, she was like, I'm actually just relieved that you're a female.
Oh, she thought he might be gay.
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
I
Hey,
was
what?
like, oh my God.
Ugh.
What?
All right,
Wow.
we're gonna
Um,
move on from cheaters.
Wait.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
no. We're not going into the life of Erica in the first
No,
half
what
hour.
was the
We're
Mini
moving
Cooper?
on. What?
What color was the Mini Cooper?
Mine? They
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
yellow. They were yellow.
See,
Yeah.
that's what
love
this guy
yellow.
did. He called up Mini Cooper. He'd be like, if I ordered 10, how big a discount do I get?
Yeah.
He just got a truckload and sent them out to all his gals.
I know there was more than two because you don't if you get the exact same car, there's not just two. Not with the number of girls that
He's
we
ordering
found.
fleets of Mini Coopers.
Just sending them out. They're probably all GPSed. I mean, but listen,
Uh-oh, I can
he
see that one's close to the other. We got to move our dating spot.
he he worked for Granger. Do you know who Granger is?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
He was extremely high up, and she made out like a bandit, and she shared it with all of us.
Wow.
We've been on vacations together. She cut checks to everybody.
Wow.
Nice.
That's freaking badass.
Can you tell her that I slept with her husband so she can send me some
She
money?
Did
she
you get
made
to
out
keep
like
the
a bandit.
car?
I sold the car, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, yeah. She took all his assets. She took everything.
Okay, let's move on for Beaver stats.
Yeah, let's move
Thank
on.
you.
Let's move on. We spent 17 minutes on cheating, so
Right?
let's move on to
Okay, go.
something else. Because Toby wants to know if he missed the good stuff, and I told him there's more coming, so we're going.
Okay, yeah,
All right,
something.
so here's a disturbing story I found. And I don't really even know how to introduce it than to just play it for you, okay?
All
Okay.
right.
I'm scared.
I'm Ray, my friend. Austin and I found out we were twins when we were 16 years old. I know it sounds super crazy, but let me explain. When me and Austin were in the womb,
Can I just ask why people have to do their makeup while they're doing videos? Just say the video, you know?
our parents were actually going to get divorced after our birth. When we were born, my parents decided that my dad would take me and my mom would take Austin, which is super hilarious because Austin looks exactly like our mom and I look exactly like my dad. Funny enough, me and Austin lived 5 minutes away from each other and our parents had no idea how close we actually were to each other. Austin and I ended up going to the same high school. The weirdest thing is literally right when I saw him, I knew there was something like a connection and I didn't know what it was, if it was love at first sight, which it could have been. The funny thing is that me and Austin went on dates when we finally started liking each other and my dad never knew who he was. Austin and I went to a dance together and that is where I met my mom for the first time. We had dance pictures and usually sometimes parents come and watch their kids get pictures done. Well, my dad and my mom were there at the same time. And that is when our whole lives got turned around. We were all in such shock. So Austin and I just kept dating. And by the time we were 18, we literally had our life planned out. Just imagine you meet the love of your life when you're 16 and you get thrown that curveball that you were twins. If you were dating in high school and planned your life, would you really drop everything, break up because you found out you were twins?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, like immediately. Are you kidding? I would be still throwing up about it. Yes. What the
Like-
hell is wrong with her? Oh my God. Yes.
Like, I was waiting for Rusty. To say,
That
Hold on.
motherfucker's not real.
but
Robert's
she has
about to say
multiple
he has
videos
no
talking
problem
about
with
it.
this.
Well, because he's from Alabama, so he understands.
I mean,
Uh,
Robert's
First
gonna be
of all,
like, love is love. Love
I'm
is
not
love.
from Alabama. Second of all, if I was in their situation, I don't even know how the hell I would feel about it, to be honest with you.
I find it hard to believe, though, that like he never
we
had
seen
any
Canada?
contact.
When he says the parents didn't know how close they were to each other, you got to be kidding me. One of you took one kid and one of you took the other, and you don't know where you guys went, and you're 5 minutes away. Come on.
And I have
Well,
a
here's
hard
the
time
thing.
believing that they never saw each other in public.
Maybe one of them moved away for a while and then come back.
Okay, so let's grant them that something did preclude the fact that they did not actually know that they were 5 minutes apart. But you find out that you're absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I just
Okay.
find it hard to believe that they have these twins. Yes, you get divorced, whatever, but you don't ever want to know whatever happened to your child.
You don't
That
let
is-
twins have a relationship when they're growing up? Like, don't divorced parents share the kids?
This is
Even
not
if you
that. What is
raise
that-
one and
what's
you
the Disney movie where the twins were separated. One went to England, one went to.
Oh my God, with
Do you
Lindsay
remember the Disney
Lohan?
movie?
I can't remember the name, but it's Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, well, it was also someone else before that, the original
yeah.
one. But yeah,
Um,
yeah. Is anybody
no,
listening?
she
Can tell us.
actually was the original. Oh no, I know what you're talking about. I
'Cause
know
it
who
was
the
from-
original
it
one
was
was.
from the early ones.
Yeah. Shit. All right,
Okay.
anyway, go ahead.
Doesn't matter. But I find it hard to believe that they never kept in contact to see how the other child was. You know what I mean? I don't even know why there's a middle finger flying
Y'all
here.
about to turn me into
That's-
Tippy. Can I
That's
talk?
for
Can I talk?
Robert.
Yes,
Can
you
I
can
talk?
talk. You can talk. You can talk.
Okay, first of all, I just want to say under the scale closer the key and the deeper in, he's getting pretty fucking far.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't think I have a problem with it. I feel bad
I knew
for
it.
them. I wonder if they have OnlyFans.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew
let's
that
research.
you were
Your
going to have
penthouse.
zero issue with this.
Dear Penthouse, I met my sister in school and I'm in love with her.
Right. Dear Penthouse,
it
I
wrong?
didn't find out
She
he was
hate
my
hard?
twin. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So
That's
J May thinks that
disgusting.
it's not real, by the
If
way.
you don't fight for your love, then what kind of love do you have?
I guess. I mean, she felt that there was something between them.
Shut
So
up. What the hell?
I got to give Keanu Reeves credit for that. I saw it in an interview with Drew Barrymore.
I absolutely knew that you didn't come up with that bullshit yourself. I was like, are you reading this off of some kind of menu on the side screen over here? What is
Oh my
happening right now?
I don't even
Yeah.
know. But I just when I heard that story, I was like, no, no way. And I'm like, I have to play this because I figured Rusty would be the one to understand the story, being from Alabama and all.
Rusty understands it. He just doesn't condone it.
I mean, as far
No,
as
he doesn't
was
condone it.
pretty
It's surprising. I'm surprising. But anyway, so we're gonna move on to I have a sounder for that. So
That is disgusting.
You are one sick puppy.
It is now time for Robert's Urban Dictionary of the Week.
we do not have a winner from last week. And Deb, I know you're listening. I did get your email and I forwarded it over to Robert. So you should be getting your prize. Hopefully he'll get his ass in gear and get it in the mail. But Robert, you're up.
all right. This week's Urban Dictionary was sent to me, and it is Alabama Hot Pocket.
Oh shit.
Oh
I know
God.
this one. I know this one. I
Oh
sent it.
God.
It literally made Robert say what the fuck. So go ahead.
Actually, I said what the fuck to the one before that.
Oh.
Uh,
Okay.
So Alabama Hot Pocket is a sex move. Rusty, you want to take a stab at this? Do you know it? Have you been there? Have you done this?
Oh, I thought you were gonna ask him if he was gonna try this. Like,
Well, I'm
Rusty,
just
are you
saying
gonna
he.
try this?
Oh
Try it if
Lord,
you
like you
want.
knew what it
Okay.
was.
We
Okay.
said so few people knows what.
So it's a sex move where the man takes a shit into the woman's vagina, and then he has sex with her.
Why?
Is
Why?
that thing-
No.
Is that a thing that you sickos like? Let me shit where I fuck. I do
No.
not think that
No.
this should be a thing ever.
No.
It's
What the?
disgusting.
I am dying right now.
It's it's not real. It's not
Yeah.
real.
Yeah,
Nobody's doing
'cause,
that shit.
you know,
Nobody's doing that
It
shit.
smells
So
fantastic.
here's a question. What's the difference if they do that or they have anal?
Oh shit!
Just asking.
Hold on. I feel like okay, hold on. Okay. You have to
Wow.
very delicately say
I
this.
don't think the audience is ready for this because we can talk about this the rest of the show. I mean,
Toby
Don't you
wants to know.
think?
Ugh.
Okay, I actually don't know the answer to this question, so I'm just going to take a shot in the dark. I would think that people who regularly use that use the back door have other preparation methods that they go through to make sure that there's as little amount of shit as possible. Like,
Sometimes you just get in the mood
Pop-
and you want to do it. You don't always
I'm
prepare.
sure you do.
Uh,
Oh, you know what? You know what you could do though? You could go take a shit first
Yeah.
and then do it.
God
Okay.
almighty.
okay,
No.
first of all,
I
if
mean,
you
you
in
guys
the Urban
complain
Dictionary,
about the fact that it smells that it doesn't smell good. If it doesn't
I-
smell good, don't it? Whatever. You want it to smell
no.
like shit. You're gonna drop a deuce in a
Wait.
vag and then stick your dick in there. That is absolutely horrendous. Your dick's gonna rot off. It's gonna rot off.
Erica,
What the?
I'm gonna say this just because of where you kept going. I have fucked a lot of girls in the ass, and never once have I pulled out and went, "Oh, look, there's poop on my wiener."
You were just
Not
happy.
Well,
once.
okay, well, did you look?
I mean, even if I picked her up from the Wendy's behind the dumpster, not once.
Okay, well, hold on a second. I just want to make sure I understand your point. Your point is, hey, listen, if I shit on her vag before I fuck it, I'm really not going to get my dick that dirty. Is that your point? Are you like, listen, I've done this and I can tell you. So where does it go then? Are you saying, no, I have it all? Absolutely
Check,
not.
check, please. Check, please. It's-
Okay, maybe you should read her the other Urban Dictionary I sent you.
Oh God. Ooh.
She's just like, no.
Oh my God. And by the way, in the comment section, Jamie says, of course he looked. It's Robert.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh.
Oh my
God.
So
God.
the other Urban Dictionary we got this week was
Wait, there's
Ox-
more?
We're
Hold
gonna just
on.
do it because
yeah.
I want to see what Rusty has to say about this. It has to do with men.
Damn it! I think I pulled a muscle. Shut up. Oxford Street Barbecue.
What do you think Oxford Street Barbecue is?
That's
You put a wing in her ass and then eat it. I don't know.
It's a rib. It's a
Oxford.
rib.
Oxford
I would
Street
like to just point
barbecue.
out that
I
Toby
feel like
wants
this
to,
is an English thing. Is this English?
Toby wants to say that he's with Rusty. Check, please.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you.
it originated in the straightest city in the world, Sydney, Australia, and it's named after a predominantly gay street in city called Oxford Street.
Toby, listen to this one.
Now, are you ready? When the
Probably
boys
not.
gather around the barbecue and have a circle jerk and come into the flames of the barbecue, then you proceed to inhale the vapor
What?
of your
No.
own cum
No, you don't.
and those around you.
No, you don't.
God, what?
No, you don't. No, you don't. There's no Aussies circle
you read
jerking
that
around the
shit.
barbecue. What are
And
these?
then
These are
smelling
just
it.
like, This is why people continue to be homeless if this is real.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
This
I'm
is not
just saying,
real.
right? Yeah. I mean,
I wonder if it would open your
Damn,
sinuses. 'cause
Erica.
I'm having a lot of issues with my sinuses. Do you
open
think
your
it would open your
sinuses. I'm sorry. What do you think? Hold on.
Would
Mm-mm.
it be like saline
No.
because it's salty?
No. Yeah, because that's
What?
what it usually smells like. No, Holly. All right. What do you want? You got a guy that's eating camphor? Then that'll help. That'll help you. But otherwise, no. It's not going to clear your sinuses. It's going to clog your pores.
Okay. Did I ever tell you? I worked with somebody who had read somewhere that semen is supposed to be good for acne. So she used to have her husband jerk off in a cup so she could rub it on her face.
Absolutely not.
She did. She absolutely did. And because she was like, I would like gag, like, it was so horrible. I'm like, why would you even think that was
No.
something that would work?
Then why not just let him skeet on her forehead? Just, it can run down her damn face.
Oh my god.
Oh Lord,
Your
I
friend
gotta
starts,
start
your,
thinking about better life
your
decisions.
friend
Jesus.
starts coming to work with a
Poor
cum.
Rusty.
She's got the cum mask on. You're like, Barb,
Poor
what are you
Rusty.
doing?
She's
It's my
losing
new skincare. It's my new skincare treatment. Oh my
Rusty.
God. No.
Well, overseas there's like lotions and shit that contain jizz.
No, there's not.
Yes,
No.
from like whales and shit.
No.
Mm.
No.
Of
No.
course Robert would know about
It
that.
contains proteins and amino acids. It's not jizz. Whale jizz. That's what you're telling me. Okay, like you make it sound like they're just selling a jar of whale jizz. That's
Oh my God.
not
Jay May wants to know if Rusty wants to make some extra pocket change.
No.
Ch-
They may know.
Chinese people masturbating.
Oh.
All right.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I put a link to the show on my Facebook page. Holy shit. I gotta take that shit down. Oh my God.
Come on. It's good. We're going to see how much we can push the limits of Facebook. All right. So we're going to move on to something that's a little bit more serious. This actually just happened today. So if you haven't heard the news, Jussie Smollett, his conviction was overturned by the Illinois Supreme Court. Now, if you remember Jussie Smollett, his original issue was that he went out for Subway.
Subway, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, Subway. And he was supposedly attacked by two MAGA people who yelled at him and said like horrible things or whatever. And he had that noose around his neck that when the police showed up, he still had it there. And he was actually found guilty of this. But now they're saying that they're overturning it. So I don't want to play another video, and so I'm going to just read this. The prosecutor's statement, Jussie Smollett's 2021 conviction over his alleged fake assault on the streets of Chicago is now behind the Empire actor. However, the former U.S. attorney appointed to the case insists the decision doesn't mean he is innocent of falsely reporting the MAGA connected hate crime in 2019. I can't believe that was 5 years ago already. In a somewhat surprising ruling, the Illinois Supreme Court on Thursday overturned the legal consequences Smollett suffered due to the high-profile incident. In the court's decision, the Illinois Supreme Court found that Special Prosecutor Dan Webb's decision to retry Smollett violated his rights. So initially, they had said that they weren't going to do anything, and they dropped the charges against him. But then they decided to try him anyway, and that's where his rights were, what did I just say? His in violation, which I don't understand how that's a violation of your rights.
I don't either.
Because it's not like a double jeopardy situation where you were already tried and found guilty of something, and then maybe you were found innocent or whatever.
It's called okay, so if a case is dismissed without prejudice, it means they can come back if they find more evidence, they can come back and they can retry you. They can bring the charges back. If it's dismissed with prejudice, it means they can no longer even search for evidence.
Is that what happened here? That he was dismissed with prejudice?
The first case was dismissed with prejudice, and then they tried to come back and retry him, and now this judge is saying, "Oh no, you can't do that." So
no, you can't.
It's like
okay, I get that. I mean, maybe they shouldn't have dismissed it in the first place. Maybe they should have waited to figure out what was going on with this case.
Right.
Now, the article I had initially read, which for some reason only has a video now,
I'm
said
just guessing as to that's why. I don't know any. I don't know any other way that it could be. I would guess because that's normally how dismissals go.
Did they beat him with a foot long?
Well, I mean, he's gay, so I would think he'd like a foot long, but okay, whatever.
Well, he was going to Subway.
This is MAGA country with racial slurs, law enforcement determined. I was just looking to see if it said, it just says, we are disappointed in the Illinois Supreme Court decision today to overturn Jussie Smollett's convictions, including the award of over $120,000 in restitution to the city of Chicago for its overtime expenses in investigating the fake hate crime. We respectfully disagree with the court's factual and legal reasoning, which upends long-standing Illinois precedent. Make no mistake, today's ruling has nothing to do with Smollett's innocence. The Illinois Supreme Court did not find any error in the overwhelming evidence presented at trial that Smollett orchestrated a fake hate crime and reported it to the Chicago police as a real hate crime, or the jury's unanimous verdict was guilty of 5 counts of felony disorderly conduct. Today's ruling does not change how deeply proud I am of the work with my special prosecutor, blah, 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 blah. Prosecutors had agreed to drop the charges against the actor as part of an agreement where he would forfeit $10,000 bond and perform community service. The case was later revived by a special prosecutor, and Smollett was convicted of a felony disorderly conduct for falsely reporting the police that he had been a victim of a hate crime. So there was an initial agreement, I guess they're saying, that he had to perform community service, and then they resentenced him. So I still don't think that it should have been overturned. He did this, and I think he's only basically getting away with it because of who he is. I don't think if this was me or you, that any of us would be getting away with that.
No.
So this is like the Bubba Wallace thing?
Oh God, yes. Remember, everything is racist, I guess. So there we go. Erica had sent in a story today. I didn't get to read it. Do you want to touch on this, Erica?
Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on. That was a little quick. Let me get to
Oh,
there.
well, all right.
What are we talking about? Is it
mother fighting child endangerment charges after son walks alone less than a mile from home?
Okay, you guys, this woman, and this infuriated me. Okay, like they come to her home and arrest her. Let me tell you what happened. This woman's son, while she was gone, she's not at home. Her kids are like 10 and 14 or 10 and 12 or something like that. She's off doing something. I can't even remember. It made me so angry. He walks into town. The 10-year-old walks into town. He's on the side of the road. He's walking. He's walking home, and the cops pick him up, and they bring him home, and they determine that it's child endangerment, that he left the house and was walking to town. It was a mile and a half, like round trip, a mile and a half, 10 years old. Anybody could do that. I could have done that at 8 years old. Some kids walk that far, and I don't want to sound like, oh my God, uphill in snow. That's not what I'm saying. But some kids walk that far just to get to their friggin' bus stop.
Yeah.
Right? Like, are you kidding me right now? And they actually showed up at her house and they arrest her. She's like, they gave her a choice to sign an agreement saying that the children had to have CPS in her home, that they were going to be looking into how she was taking care of her children. And if she didn't agree to that, then they were going to arrest her. And she said, I'm not signing that. And they arrested her for child endangerment. I just was infuriated. You're telling me that at this point, you cannot let your child walk downtown. You guys, these people didn't live in the city. This was like small town.
Yeah, and
Like
she was
like a
also
little
fined
tiny.
like $500.
Yeah.
And it says that the police are actually agreeing to drop charges if she signs a form that outlines a safety plan for her kids.
And she refused to sign it.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
It's not even like she was home and he said, Mom, I'm going to walk downtown. And she said, okay. And they determined that it was unsafe for him to walk downtown and she shouldn't have given him permission to do that. So therefore she's negligent and now she's in trouble. It's not even that. It's not even that. She wasn't even home. And by the way, at 10 and 12, I was babysitting other people's children. Not
Yeah,
only
I was
was
doing
I
it at the age
home
of 9.
alone, I was babysitting other people's children at that age.
I was babysitting kids at 9 years old, and I had a paper route where I walked the whole city of my hometown, which is like 8 or 9 blocks all by myself.
I feel bad for this woman. If I lived near her, I would be standing in the courthouse steps with a sign. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
come on.
it's not right because I mean, hell, my grandparents' farm was a mile from my house, and I can't tell you at how young a age I walked back and forth.
All the
Going
time.
from one house to the other. Town was probably more than 5 miles away, but hell, when we walked or we rode our bikes up there, nobody questioned it.
I was in 5th grade. I definitely rode my 10-speed 4 miles into downtown and back in 5th grade with a whole bunch of other neighborhood kids. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, I used to have to walk a half mile to the bus stop when I lived in Florida, and I was probably 8. Yeah, I was 8. It was a half
Right.
mile. I had to walk to the end of the road, turn right, walk to the end of that road, cross a 2-lane main highway to stand for the bus on the other side of the road.
We used to walk, I don't remember. I think I was
ridiculous.
maybe 4th grade, so I'd be about like 8 to 10 years old, somewhere in there. We used to walk almost 2.5 miles into town just so we could play basketball, and then we'd walk back home. And I was with my brothers, but we were young.
Yeah.
And my mom
And this
was
kid
because we
obviously
didn't have a
had
second car.
right. He obviously had no issues. He obviously made it to town and back, by the way. It's not like
Yeah.
anything happened.
So, I was looking at the article and I'm trying to figure out why the cop even stopped him, because it says that the cop saw him and stopped him. So why did the cop stop him? Like,
Just for walking on the side of the road.
was it?
He
What
didn't
was
he
it
didn't think
that
he looked old enough to be out there by himself, apparently.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
Isn't
All right.
that crazy?
It is crazy. And it's there are stories like this around the country I've seen, where like the mom's like the playground's a half a block away, so I let my kid go, and like people called CPS and stuff on her. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, hell, when I lived in Texas, we lived in Louisville. I lived there for a little while, and you could go anywhere by walking within a few miles of the house. Big stores, wherever you wanted to go. And hell, I walked around there. I guess I was 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody ever said a fucking word.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, we're gonna move on because I know Rusty has to be out of here in about 15 minutes. Um, I have a story that this is actually the whole reason this show is named Don't Change That Channel, because this story is actually a couple years old, but I found it fascinating. So who likes Black Sabbath? Anyone?
Me.
Anyone?
I do.
Y'all do? Y'all
I
do?
do.
I do.
A Madison, Wisconsin man was arrested after allegedly throwing a beer bottle at a bartender who changed the bar's music from Black Sabbath to Christmas tunes. Now, this was just before 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve at the Farm Tavern Bar, where patrons said an allegedly intoxicated Christopher, age 33, became upset with the change of music. Sorry, I don't know why I'm. Police say that Christopher chugged a bottle of beer and slammed it down on the counter after swearing at the bartender, according to this press release, then threw the bottle in the direction of the bartender's head. Other patrons had to step in and keep him from going behind the bar as he allegedly circled it with his fists clenched. Chris's uncle eventually got him to the door, but before he left, he grabbed a Christmas tree and pulled it down and broke several ornaments. This guy does not like Christmas. So when I initially heard the headline, I'm thinking, well, okay, what time of year was it? Because it's not even Thanksgiving and like everything is Christmas right now. Like we totally forget to be thankful. But it's Christmas Eve. So I feel like he should have been expecting to have some Christmas music playing. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with I'm going with angry bottle thrower because if you're in a bar on Christmas Eve, you're probably not super happy, right? I mean, you're there with your uncle. You're probably not having a great Christmas,
Mm.
and maybe Black Sabbath is your jam. And for 2.5 minutes, you were about to at least be with it, at least with a drum solo, and you were gonna feel good. And some asshole put on freaking Christmas music in the bar. Yep, I'm throwing the bottle.
It's
I'm with
probably
bottle
grandma
throw.
got run over by a reindeer too. Yeah.
Right? Right? Right?
While I don't condone his actions, I kind of understand it, but
Yeah, I
know,
feel it.
it's
Yeah, you know.
it's he was a little extreme there, a little extreme.
I
Oh
don't
my
care if it
God.
was Mariah Carey. The minute he threw that bottle, I would have beat the shit out of him.
Merry effing
Hey,
Christmas.
listen, love is love. Maybe he was okay. He was just in love with Black Sabbath, and you should just let him go.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird.
Bartenders
Kind
are
of weird the
people
things that
too.
you will fight back about. Like it's okay you're okay with a twins getting married, but don't throw a bottle at the bartender when they change the music to Christmas on Christmas Eve.
Dude, I don't care
Oh,
what.
'cause you
Don't
know how
don't
good
even
my
don't.
drinks are gonna be after I kick that guy's ass for throwing that bottle.
Okay.
Oh, I see where you're coming from. It's an economic move on your point, right? That's
See,
very
Yeah.
strategic of you, Robert.
I'm proud of
Yeah.
you. I'm proud
Yeah.
of you, man. Okay, Rusty, you got some Thanksgiving shit for us, don't you?
I got some historical events about Thanksgiving. So
let's
when was the first Thanksgiving? Y'all got a date? You think you know?
A date.
Yeah, a date. The day. The
Bring
what
a date
year?
to
What
Thanksgiving.
year was the very first Thanksgiving?
82.
1562.
No, that's about 100 years. About 100 years too soon.
1686.
1676. The Thanksgiving Proclamation. Plymouth Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving. Was issued at the General Court of Plymouth to give thanks for the colony's survival and successful harvest. And of course, there were like 90. I think I read 90 Indians and 50 Pilgrims, and they were all just hunky dory. A 3-day event. 1789, George Washington gives the Thanksgiving Proclamation, a national day of Thanksgiving on November 26, 1789. He called for the nation to observe a day of public thanksgiving and prayer. 1846, the first Thanksgiving in the White House. James K. Polk hosted the first official Thanksgiving dinner. 1846.
Who was there? That'd be. I don't want. Go ahead.
Yeah, 1939. Franklin Delano Roosevelt moved Thanksgiving up 1 week to the third Thursday in November in an attempt to boost retail sales during the Great Depression. This decision was met with widespread backlash, leading to confusion, and in 1941, Congress officially set Thanksgiving back to the fourth Thursday.
We were too idiotic and confused by moving Thanksgiving back 1 week. So Congress had to officially move it back for us. Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
From the government,
we-
we're here to help. So,
I mean, we've been dumb for a long time, huh?
yep, we
Jesus.
have been.
While Thanksgiving is primarily celebrated in the U.S. and Canada, similar harvest festivals exist in various cultures worldwide. For instance, the Japanese celebrate Kinro Kansha Nohai. Nailed it. A day of labor appreciation. Isn't that just Labor Day? While the Jewish harvest festival of Sukkot, I guess, also embodies the themes of gratitude and harvest. And then, of course, we have to a day of mourning. Many indigenous people observe Thanksgiving as a day of mourning.
Do they, though?
It's a reminder of the historical injustices faced by Native Americans and encourages reflection on the true history of colonization and its impacts.
Okay, I'm going to look that up. I live in Indiana.
Yeah.
I would think that I could probably find some
You would think.
indigenous people mourning celebrations coming up next week. I'm going to have to look for that.
You would
I'm
think
looking for that.
that seems a little extreme to me. Like there might be a little bit of leftist thinking in that.
Right, you don't think they'll let me in?
Probably not. Probably not.
I would
Never.
tape it if you do.
Right? No whitey allowed. I'm sorry.
No
what?
whitey allowed.
Just when they ask them how much Indian do you have in you, say, I don't know. I hope to get.
I was looking for a little.
Wow.
I wanted to join your day of mourning.
And then cultural facts, turkey traditions. The turkey tradition is believed to have originated from the early Pilgrim Feast. Today, about 46 million turkeys are consumed in the U.S. each Thanksgiving. That's all, 46? You'd think there'd be more than that. Parade and football. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade become a staple of the holiday. With NFL hosting games that have become a cherished part of the tradition. When did the turkey pardon first happen? Anybody?
1974.
That's pretty close. No. Since the 1980s, U.S. presidents have participated in the tradition known as the turkey pardon, where they spare turkey from being served at Thanksgiving. Lighthearted event symbolizes goodwill and has become a fun pre-Thanksgiving ritual.
Wasn't there someone recently who who decided not to do the turkey pardon?
They probably eat that poor bastard the next year.
I mean,
I think it was Obama, wasn't it? I don't know. I was thinking Thanksgiving in space, November 28, 2001. Astronauts aboard the International Space Station celebrated Thanksgiving with a special meal that included turkey stuffing and pumpkin pie, demonstrating how the holiday transcends earthly bounds.
Wow.
Whatever.
I'm having a pumpkin pie fight with my mother-in-law right now. I'm going to lay it down. Yep.
You going to like throw them at each other? Or what?
I'm going to bring pumpkin pie tacos for dessert for Thanksgiving. And I was told specifically not to, that only pumpkin pie would be acceptable. And for that reason, I'm going to bring the most extreme pumpkin I can find. And I found a recipe for pumpkin pie tacos, and that's what I'm going with.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
You got? Well, I have an interesting video. We're going to end on something fun.
Okay.
Because, well, this just made me. Hold on. I don't want it to play. I just want to get it set up so I can present it to everyone. Are you ready?
Ready.
This actually had this for last week. I just totally forgot about it. So here we go. This poor dog is pooping.
What the?
Volume down. We don't need to hear all that music. This dog got into, I can't what they were. I'm gonna have to make this smaller because I read it earlier. Orbeez. The dog is pooping out Orbeez that he thought looked like a good snack. He decided to eat them, and he had to go to the vet, and they said he should pass them, and there he is, passing Orbeez.
Oh, that poor baby.
He's tasted the rainbow, and it was not good.
He's lucky they didn't swell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what Orbeez are.
That would have caused fucking ruptures everywhere.
Yeah, Orbeez expand when they're hydrated.
Mhm.
So they are actually, this was just 25% of the Orbeez that he ate. The other 75% had to be removed. So
That poor
Oh,
baby.
those expanded.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
terrible.
Mhm.
That's terrible.
He was a recent rescue, and apparently they need to pay more attention to where they're leaving their stuff for their dog. But the rainbow has been evacuated. So there's that.
Yeah, Rob, your rainbow's been evacuated.
Yeah.
So if you want to enter to win a prize, you can email realbeaverafterdark@gmail.com and include your name and address and the urban dictionaries of the week, one or the other, it doesn't matter. And what were they, Robert?
Alabama Hot Pocket.
And what was the other one?
Uh,
Come on, Robert.
hold on.
Alabama Hot Pocket. And what was the other one?
She's my sister.
No, it's that damn barbecue. Oh, Oxford Street Barbecue.
Oxford Street Barbecue. Email them to realbeaverafterdark@gmail.com and you can win a prize that Rob-ERT might actually send out to you.
And
So
if you decide to do either of those, send the video to the same address because Beaver wants to watch it.
And by Beaver, he means he wants to watch it. And I want to thank you guys all for tuning in. J May, and I think our friend SoCal left us, and Deb and Toby, and whoever else that I might have missed that was in the chat. I appreciate you guys listening. And if you have any interesting stories, I know Obi-Wan Coyote sends me a ton of stuff. Thank you. I actually don't think I saw anything in the email this week, but he sends some interesting stuff. But you can email us and you might make it on the air. So and I think we're going to take a break next week because it is Thanksgiving on Thursday, and we might want to just be thankful with our families instead of talking about Hot Pockets and fire circle jerks. So so join us in 2 weeks when we come back on Beaver After Dark.